grind, of course. Like,
Raúl Meza
let's get into this
is
shit.
not your regular teen after he achieved the feat that puts his name as one of Mexico's most ruthless cartel assassins.
That's
But
a
how
big
did
ass
this situation
gun.
turn bad for the kid who missed his way early in life, and how he ended up paying the ultimate price? Could the situation have turned out differently for him, as some people have claimed? Make sure you watch this video to the end as we discuss the sad story of El Mini 6. Before we
Mini
start the video, be
6.
sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button so you get notified every time I drop those videos. Now that you've got that out of the way, let's dig in. The debate about being naughty by nature or nurture always comes up in discussions involving kids and teens. Like, are all these characters they exhibited built in, or are they influenced by their environment? One thing clear enough though is that we'll always find it.
I mean, like, nature versus nurture is like the most easiest debate that we could figure out, but we never put in the time to do it. Like, you feel me? Like, it's easy. Like, I can't explain it right now because I'm
Difficult to agree.
I'm low-key trying to like
Raúl
remember
Meza
it.
Torres grew up
but
to
like,
become
you feel me?
everything surrounding him: the drugs, the violence, killings, and whatever you could ever imagine. Born to Raúl Meza Ontiveros, aka LM6, who himself was a drug kingpin and a top shot of the
LM6.
powerful Sinaloa Cartel. Raúl Meza Torres, aka
God
El Mini 6,
damn.
was born in the Mexican state of Sinaloa on the 31st of October 1991.
Niggas born in
Infamously known as the drug capital of
1991.
Mexico, Sinaloa dominance in the drug world tops it all. As a matter of fact, ask any Mexican about the city, and the first things they think of.
Alright, let me pause this. Like I was saying, god damn, the mic was fucked up. Nature versus nurture is like an easy debate. Like, yes, sometimes people are evil by nature, but people could be evil by nurture too. Like the environment they grew up, they were forced to be ruthless and shit. You feel me? So yeah.
Are drugs and violence. No cap. His father wasn't the only connection. Raúl Meza are. As a matter of fact, ask any Mexican about the city, and the first things they think of are drugs and violence. No cap. His father wasn't the only connection. Raúl Meza Torres, aka El Mini 6, had with the underworld. He also had uncles and cousins who were involved in one way or the other. So could he really have avoided joining them, in all honesty? I don't think so. His father, Raúl Meza Ontiveros, aka LM6, alongside his uncles Javier Torres Felix, aka LJT, and Manuel Torres Felix, aka SLM1, were all deeply involved in the organized crime world. Doesn't that mean everything around the family involves killings, shootings, police raids, and the likes? A young Raúl Meza Torres, however, couldn't resist the urge of wanting to be just like his father. Because, let's be real, the crime underworld doesn't just end all gloom with the shootings, murders, and police raids. They also have the cash to buy and flaunt the luxuries, fast cars, gold chains, and, the hot ladies. This is actually one of the cartel's selling points to young dudes who wish to toe that line.
Bro, bitches and money will make me join the cartel. I ain't gonna lie. Just off the fact of me being able to like gain money. Oh, if you don't like money, there's something wrong with you. Hold on. You feel me? Hold on.
It's easy for them to ignore the hard parts and focus on the enjoyment. Like all kids his age, Raúl Meza Torres was also inspired by all he saw, as well as his father's presence in the game. This made him join the Sinaloa Cartel fully at the young age of 15. Shouldn't he be focused?
Nigga joined fully at 15. Ain't no way. Like, ain't no way you're going to join a cartel fully at the age of 15. Like, that's some crazy shit right there. That's really crazy.
Focused on school, some might ask. But trust me, it ain't a joke in Mexico. In fact, we have kids younger than that who are already deeply involved in that life.
Like, there's kids who actually got bodies younger than 15 in Mexico.
For Raúl Meza Torres, it wasn't even like that was the beginning for him, as he had been alleged to have been involved in several other criminal activities before deciding to switch it up fully by joining the Sinaloa Cartel. That journey, however, wasn't really what he expected, and what made his case different wasn't even the path he chose, but the way and manner in which it all ended. Going fully into the underworld at age 15 and getting killed within 3 years of joining. One would imagine if that period...
Wow, that is so sad. Like, damn. Like, that's really sad as hell. Like, dog, like 15? 15 is crazy. Like, it's really
It was enough
like
to
it's
make
some
one's
shit.
mark in the organized
Like,
crime
he
world.
chose at 15
But
to
for
get
Raúl
killed at
Meza Torres, he
18?
sure left behind a legacy within such a short period of time.
Wow.
He might have
Like,
been killed.
that shit's.
He sure left behind a legacy within such a short period of time. He might have been killed.
That shit's. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna upload this, but like,
At
damn.
the age of 18, but he still had songs dedicated to him even after his death,
He had
which
songs
is to show you that
dedicated to
Mini
him.
Six wasn't your regular
He
cartel
was really
kid.
him.
Raúl Meza Torres went on to become one of the Sinaloa Cartel's youngest assassins, allegedly though, and he didn't in any way hide that from so many people. He sure made good use of social media platforms, most especially Facebook and Metroflog, which
Like,
he
he
used
was
frequently
really
to
him,
post his
though.
day-to-day activities.
He was
What
really
really
him.
separates Raúl Meza
that
Torres
nigga
from
was a
teens his age
killer. He
was
does
what
not
he
give a
posted
fuck
through
if niggas
such
caught him.
platforms. His timeline was filled with pictures of himself posing with firearms and flashing luxuries. Several pictures of him holding and firing assault weapons soon became a theme on his social media accounts. These kinds of posts, made by Raúl Meza Torres, soon made him a kind of a local celebrity amongst teens of his age,
He
with
was
many
a
of them wanting to be
local
just like him.
celebrity.
But were they able to intimidate just that? Your guess is absolutely right. Raúl Meza Torres soon became the face of the young dudes joining cartels known as Mini Zetas, a movement which is becoming problematic for the Mexican government as kids between the ages of 16 and 19 are sent to training camps to learn how to handle weapons, as well as oversee drug operations. Raúl Meza Torres was, however, struck a heavy blow on the 27th of March 2007 when his father and mentor, Raúl Meza Ontiveros, aka LM6, was shot and killed by rival cartel members during a shootout.
Damn.
At that time, there were conflicting reports about how he was killed, with some claims he was dropping off his girlfriend when
Damn.
rivals who had been waiting for him shot him at close range. Maybe that should have been a point where Raúl
Like his
Meza
setup?
Torres
He
would
probably got
retrace his
set up.
steps, but it seems he
probably
was
got
more
set
deeply
up.
rooted in the underworld than you can imagine. 7 months after his father was ambushed and killed by rival cartels, Raúl Meza Torres also had his first run-in with the Mexican law enforcement. Just 15 years of age at that time, he was pulled over by cops for driving an armored vehicle without license plates. He was then arrested after he was unable to show proof of the ownership of the vehicle. Moving forward, on the 19th of June 2009, which is about 2 years after the first incident, Raúl Meza Torres also had another problem with the law enforcement authorities. Raúl Meza Torres was participating in a drag race in the region of Las Quintas when traffic officers decided to spoil the party. What could have been easily handled by both parties soon degenerated into chaos when the officers ordered the racing to be stopped. Some of those
Okay.
present decided to fire shots at the police, leaving one officer injured.
Oh.
This led to a shootout as officers were forced to return fire. The shooters were eventually overpowered and outgunned by the police officers and were forced to flee the scene, leaving one of their vehicles behind. When state authorities arrived at the location to later investigate the crime scene, they found that the abandoned vehicle was owned by Meza Torres, and that there was a license plate inside the vehicle that matches one that had earlier been reported stolen. It wasn't only that, though, as they found several caches of ammunition. Raúl Meza Torres
Damn.
might have had a run-in with the authorities twice, but it still didn't stop him from constituting nuisance as well as portraying himself as a menace. Could he have even retraced his footsteps before it was too late? Who knows? The two incidents involving Raúl Meza Torres and the authorities didn't really yield the expected result. It was never reported if he had any punishment for the run-ins, but why was that the case? Could the outcome of the story have turned out
They
different
probably
assuming he
got
had
him
been
for that.
punished for those offenses?
They
Maybe
probably
time
got
in
me so
juvenile
bad.
might have helped him in retracing his steps. No one's sure, but it might have helped. The climax of the whole story, however, occurred on the 25th of April, 2010. That Sunday morning started like every other day for Raúl Meza Torres until police officers patrolling in the Las Aguilas neighborhood in Zapopan, Jalisco,
beautiful
noticed a
ass neighborhood.
suspicious vehicle during a stop and frisk operation. The occupants of the suspicious vehicle turned out to be Raúl Meza Torres and a friend named Fidel Rojas Felix. The officers ordered them to stop for a routine search, but they ignored the instruction. The occupants of the vehicle were said to have taunted the officers by flashing their weapons and firing shots into the air to warn off the officers. The two officers even tried to calm the situation while asking them to turn themselves in. Maybe at that point, a little caution might have stopped what was to come next, but maybe youthful embrace on the part of Raúl Meza Torres and his friend played its part in what unraveled. In a switched moment, Raúl Meza Torres was alleged to have shot one of the officers at point-blank range, killing him instantly.
Oh.
The second officer was also shot with gunshot wounds suffered on his hand, leg, and thorax. It was a defining moment for the young Raúl Meza Torres because at this point, there was no turning back.
That
It's
nigga
one
is
thing
a
to kill rival drug cartel members, but it's
That nigga, what the fuck? That nigga is a fucking man. Alright, yeah. I think we're good. I think we're good now, bro. That nigga
another
is a
thing to be a
fucking
cop killer.
menace.
The die was cast at that point. The second officer who survived the shots wasn't ready to go down without putting up a fight though. He returned fire, which hit Raúl Meza Torres. He let it go down without putting up a fight though. He returned fire, which hit Raúl Meza Torres. He later died of his injuries as they were life-threatening. His friend, who was also involved, was rather lucky as he didn't get shot. He, however, attempted to escape from the scene but was caught on a rooftop by officers responding to the shootings. Even though authorities were able to confirm that Raúl Meza Torres and his friend belonged to the Sinaloa Cartel, his friend denied he had anything to do with the shooting. The autopsy report on Raúl Meza Torres later confirmed that he died from gunshot wounds as well as multiple blunt injuries to his head, which reports claimed was likely from pistol whipping. Even though no further investigations were carried out after the incident, it still raised the question of how Raúl Meza Torres was really killed. If he had succumbed to his gunshot wound, then why was there any reason for the officers to pistol whip him? Or was it carried out while he had been shot and writhing in pain on the floor? No one knows for sure, but the only one who would seem to walk out of this unhurt was his friend and accomplice, Rojas Felix, who was later charged with homicide and attempted homicide. Even though Raúl Meza Torres died as a teenager, several narco corridos detailing his life and death have been composed by musicians. Raúl Meza Torres turned out to be swallowed by the drug underworld, which has ensured many before him never fulfilled their lifelong ambitions, while many lives after him have also been cut short. Nonetheless, Raúl Meza Torres has been remembered unlike many others like him. It is, however, painful to see many young ones like him getting exploited by these cartels with the promise of a better future. A future most of them never get to witness, as they either get killed or sentenced to jail terms. The situation doesn't seem like it could be solved too, as many of these kids are just like pawns waiting to be sacrificed in the game.
Alright.